All right, folks. We're starting to move up in the world here. We've got the first match of the quarterfinals that at least I'm casting here of the Mr. Bones Spooktacular Cup, the official Age of the Ring tournament here. In the bottom right, we've got Nidhoggr returning, playing Mordor on Spring of Keldwyn. And in the top left, we've got Isengard being played by Snens here. So this should start to get pretty spicy as we are moving up in the tournament bracket here. Make sure you're checking up on that to see who's going to be playing who as we get towards the finals here. We're going to see 2 slaughterhouses and 2 orc barracks being thrown down immediately by Nidhoggr. So we're going to expect to see some pretty early orc pressure here. And a solid choice over here by Snens. We're going to see the warg pit going down for Isengard. 2 furnaces. This is the first Isengard match that I've casted, at least for this tournament, that hasn't started with 4 furnaces. So I like to see it being changed up here a little bit. And I like the warg pick. I think the difference in price between the orc warriors and the pikemen is pretty severe. So going double barracks here is going to mean that Nid is really only going to be able to afford the orc warriors here at first. So the warg should have a pretty decent advantage against them, and it's going to force Nid to pull out the more expensive pikes. So let's see how Snens utilizes these here. Okay. So he's going to delete the warg pit, get some money back so that he can build clan steading, and just bank on the 1 battalion of wargs to get done what he needs to get done. That's pretty interesting. Running them into the fortress is not going to be the way to go here. Okay. They used Howl and War. Does that work? Does Howl and War Chant work together? Sex with leadership and spells. Okay. Sex, yeah, alright. Sick. Got some damage done on this slaughterhouse here. But not enough. I mean, few wolves survive. I don't think this is the right use of the wolves here. I would have liked to see the wolves to defend against all this that's happening. Wargs are gonna be able to trample all these orcs here and keep his base defended. Forcing out the pikes here from Nid, having to run away. I mean, these aren't going to regenerate. They're not going to hit level 2 the way that they are, so... That early investment by Snens, I think he's going to pay for that pretty heavily here. Looks like we've got a bunch of orcs surrounding the builder here. It's going to be a while before they kill this armory, but I mean, if it goes unanswered for long enough, it should be okay. Able to fend off these orcs here. Get the wild men over to defend this armory. I think if he's able to send enough over here in time, the high armor of the armory should be able to let it survive. Actually, these orcs have a full surround on it now. It's not going to make it. Down here, we've got another big fight between the wild men and the orc pikemen here. This furnace is going to go down for sure. Wow, okay. This is a big early game advantage for Nid here. The warg, the early warg build, which is kind of a gamble. It's an economic gamble for sure. Did not pay off in the slightest. No damage done. Wargs pretty much just instantly lost. Not able to be used for defense. And then being able to kill 700 resources worth of resource production buildings is a huge, huge loss for Snen. So he's going to have to figure out how to crawl back into this game, basically. Getting some wild men across the way to put some pressure on is not too bad as long as he survives and doesn't take any more critical damage here. These level 2 wild men going to be good against these orcs here. Can't lose 2 builders, though. That would be too much. Too much damage. Uh-oh. Will this... Yeah, this furnace should make it. Yep, okay. This furnace survives. But these orcs in place to come after it. These wild men getting some scavenging resources off on this. Nice, okay. So I think what we saw was Nid destroying that building there. I don't think wild men actually finished it off. I want to say he could have kept it alive, but he might have just wanted to save a couple of bucks and build a healthier one later. All right, the army size for Nid here is starting to get pretty huge. 530 to 356 here. This furnace going down. The axe throwers, though, are going to be a pretty good choice against this Mordor army. The rowdy tub dwarves getting into the thick of things here. Some of them don't really want to fight, it seems. Some of them do. Look at these guys go. Imagine one of these, the guy's chasing you down. Very nice. I think that sound is coming from them. It sounds like they're slapping each other. All right, so Nid consolidating his side of the map here. Resource structures across the whole, this side of the spring, if you will. Creeping the layer, but Snens putting some pressure on with the wild men up top here. One too many pike battalions here. I guess he's worried that there's going to be trolls or a Nazgul soon, so I don't hate the pikes, but sending them across is that's just kind of a hard bet to hedge, I think. But the multi-prong is paying off. He's killing off this slaughterhouse here while he's distracting up here, so this army isn't attacking him anymore. And these orcs are going to make it across over to this furnace while being chipped away by battalions of axe throwers. Nid just fully ignoring the axe throwers here. Oh, just kidding. Gonna summon the wraiths on top of them. That's gonna mess him up for a while. But I don't think there's gonna be enough damage to take this furnace down, because the archers certainly aren't gonna take care of it, so we'll see how that goes. I do see a hero over here, so a Nazgul did finally come out from Mordor. Very nice. The Nazgul are going to clean this up. Unfortunately, the pikes were not on this side. They were up on the top side. Alright, so I was wrong. They did get this furnace. Wow, this is a tough game for Snens. The Tainted Land being dropped by Isengard here. It's going to be a huge buff for the wild men. Going to get some scraps, of course, for killing these orcs, but money's money. Nazgul continuing to take down these wild men. Not supported by the pikes until just now. And this wildman battalion, a level 4 battalion of wildmen going to go down here. Unless he can get them to run away, but that's going to be a loss. You want to keep those upgraded battalions alive. It looks like I bought that for a second. Alright, these orcs not going to be able to kill this armory, but the pressure is just mounting from all sides here. Ooh. Good catch on the Nazgul there, running into some wildmen pikes here. That's gonna give Snens a little bit of breathing room, but I mean, the drums are marching, man. Look at all these orcs coming across, and just nothing contesting these. 550 total to 710. Snens, while having a lot less money to work with and having more expensive units, however, is holding off Mordor pretty impressively, I will say. I mean, he's rebuilding the resource structures as they get destroyed, so he's not getting too far behind in that respect. If it was me, I would have just been completely mowed over by now. So this is some pretty good play, and he's managing to harass. So we're seeing some really good play from both players here. This is the I really think that Snens got off to the wrong foot here with his warg play. I think if he had used the wargs defensively, at least at first, or even just kept the warg pit alive. I mean, wargs would go a long way in these fights here. Like one battalion of wargs to take care of these guys. Obviously there's pikes, but... Ooh, the war chant going down on this ball of Wildmen here probably going to be able to get this slaughterhouse as well as just chew through this army. The axe thrower is great damage against the orcs here. This is a great push by Snens, turning it around while forcing Nid to defend this slaughterhouse. Nazgul trying to get some damage in, but the pikes and everybody are very feeling very intimate over here. They're very clumped up, so the Nazgul are going to have trouble with that. Instead, rather, going to go and scout a little bit. I'm not sure. All right, we do see the first, at least the first troll that I've seen coming out of Mordor. I'd love to see that. I think that's going to be, along with the Nazgul, just the tech that's needed to move into the next stage of the game for Mordor here. Because even with, alright, he is upgrading the Uruk pit. That's an expensive upgrade. 600 resources to get off of just the scouts is pretty tough. So, Snen's investing in the next phase of the game, as well as Nid here. The axes do good damage against those trolls, but the Nazgul are going to make quick work of the rest of them. So far, a great back and forth. Nid still has the advantage here, as he's got the CP. I'm sure he's leveled up some more resource structures, whereas Snens has been forced to kind of rebuild most of his. But all in all, a pretty solid recovery from Snens. That, again, that war pit was a huge, huge loss. I believe what we see here, the animation is kind of non-existent here. But I believe the fortress has been upgraded with the cave bats so that he has more vision to see where the orc harass is coming from. Is that the axe thrower damage to slaughter? Wow. Oh, the more you know. I never knew axe throwers did that much damage to structures. That's pretty good. So the orcs getting on top of some of these wild men here, getting this surround, and then obviously sounding the retreat call. A lot more are going to die. Oh man, the Nazgul flank, huge, through the base. Do we have a troll here? Pillars, yep. So Mordor getting on top of this furnace here and forcing these units to retreat. Mordor reinforcing their presence on that side of the map. The resource structure standoff here. Are they within range of each other? I believe so. They know about each other. So if anything, these orcs will see this. Maybe get this builder pick off. Tainted Land and a Berserker coming out here. The Berserkers can be pretty sneaky in terms of damage. If they get a couple of good AoE swings off, hugely cost-effective unit here. And saves the furnace. Ooh. That's huge to see, too. Build me an army is being placed. Here we go. So build me an army for a while. Is this going to be spawning the fighting Uruk-hai battalions? Great, great way to supplement an army that he can't really afford right now. Nazgul making the rounds. Wildmen, pikemen to be there to handle this. But a pretty decent attack coming in from Nid up here that just these pikemen are not going to be able to handle. They might be able to get on top of this Nazgul, though, for good damage. I get the war chant here, but it's not going to be with the archers over here. Well, let's see. I could be wrong. They're getting some pretty decent damage done, even with the wraiths here. Down here, another fight's going down. I would have liked to see the war chant here, I think. There's just more units, more important fight as we're on top of the resource structures here. Nazgul coming in. The Nazgul control by Nid is just insane. He's in every fight, right? Like the Nazgul's up here pressuring this, then all of a sudden, before you know it, he's down here. Looks like the Mouth of Sauron has also hit the field. The Trample is going to be a lot less powerful than the Nazgul's. Wow, the Nazgul just barely gets away. That can be one of the most tilting things in this game, I think, playing against Mordor, and you're trying to get those pesky Nazgul, and they just barely get away. Alright, so these are the Spearmen. Mordor are going to claim this furnace, slowly but surely. While Isengard with some pikemen, or I'm sorry, crossbowmen, hitting the field, taking down, I assume that was a Mordor builder. Yeah, the slap noises from the Rowdy Tough Dwarves are the funniest thing. All right, up here we've got a Nazgul just skirting by these pikemen. Wow. The troll being sacrificed, though. Mordor sneaking in across the bridge through the tunnels here to get on top of this level 2 armory. That would be a pretty heavy loss for Snens here. Another troll going down. So Snens doing a really good job getting on top of these trolls and making sure they don't last for too long. And the Krebine coming in. Oh, dude, this Berserker. Double Berserkers here. I don't think either of them are upgraded. The upgrades are expensive, but if these guys can survive long enough, the damage and survivability that they can output is just insane. Mordor's Fear is just such a strong utility. I don't know even what was causing it just then, but the Berserkers were kind of cowering for a second. Mouth of Sauron has arrived to, I don't know, just join the army for a little bit here. We're still on top of this level 2 armory. It's going to last for a while. The wild men finally going to get on top of these guys. And I think with the level 2 HP boost, we should see that one survive. But whatever these orcs are down here on top of is probably not surviving. I guess they're just waiting in the wings to make their entrance. Mordor continues to push back here. More trolls. Mouth of Sauron. We see the Black Uruks hitting the field here. So a little bit of an infantry boost. It's a pretty forward furnace here. I like it, though. You gotta build it somewhere. Yeah, no, that furnace... I don't think that furnace was gonna last very long. But Isengard gonna contest, get on top of these archers. This summon has been hitting the field like... What is the cooldown on these wraiths? Ready for war or battle. Yeah, I don't even know my own lines. It just feels like Nid is casting these Wraiths of Mordor at every second possible. That kind of efficiency there, making sure he's using them at the best times and managing the cooldown so they don't just sit over here, is really, really good by Nid. We've got a flank coming in by Isengard across the northern bridge here, northeastern bridge. But the infrastructure and just army placement of Mordor is going to be tough to beat. He's got an army here ready to respond to pretty much any threat, while pressuring the south side here. Orc archers in really solid position. The Wraiths constantly debuffing things. But these Berserkers, man, I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Berserkers. If you don't target these guys down, they will tear apart level 2 Orc, Black Uruks, rather, like nothing. Yep, Nid able to answer this harass by the wild men here. Not a problem. Nazgul and Mouth of Sauron getting ready to rotate again. But another army coming in from Snens through the middle. Gonna get that slaughterhouse destroyed, so not as much damage as Snens would have liked there. Nid's able to get the refund on that and deny the power points there, so not too bad. Wow, this is such an amazing back and forth battle. Just what we'd expect from the quarterfinals. Loving it. The Mordor Uruks chasing down the Isengard Uruks. Oh, looks like the Mouth of Sauron. Oh, no, the Mouth of Sauron got a little low, but should be fine. These Berserkers going toe-to-toe with these guys. Love it. All right, so thing with the Black Uruks, obviously they specialize in plundering buildings a little bit more than the Orc spam. I believe when they hit level 3, they'll hit the Despoiler ability, which is pretty solid against structures here. They're almost there. But even without it, doing pretty good damage. The Fighting Urukai on aggressive stance, gonna get in the middle of these pikemen here. Oh man, I'm not even paying attention to the powers. The Wraiths on wings are gonna be a huge, like... Snens getting another builder kill. Snens all over this army here. The Berserker placement, the level 5 Berserker without even any upgrades, is going to fall to these Wraiths on wings. So great use of this power here from Mordor. It's going to cause Snens to go into a full retreat. There's just nothing he can do about these Wraiths. He's going to have to wait for the time to go down. Devastating power here. Wow, and just like that, Mordor takes their base back. That's a very strong path. I think I can't look at it, but... So the Wraith on Wings, usually used to get some damage done on structures here. Being used to push back the army of Snens back to his base, just like this. And basically just reset the map here. It looks to me like 710 for Mordor and 750 for Isengard. Isengard taking a slight lead in power points here after that push. Yeah, all these guys die. Like, they'll kill this maybe just as it's about to disappear, so not very efficient trades there for Isengard, unfortunately. Mordor getting back on Snen's side of the map here. Both of these players are so good at sneaking in enemy units across the map to deal with each other here. Just incredible play. Well, we do see, I didn't mention it before while the Wraiths were attacking, but we do see that the another Uruk pit was dropped. I don't believe it's been upgraded to level 2 yet, so only Uruk scouts can be purchased from this so far. And we are command point limited here. And losing buildings. So that level 2 armory, might have even been level 3, is finally going down here. The Black Uruks being Orkhorned. Going to be able to destroy the fighting Urukai with their level advantage. And the Horn, obviously. Snen's kind of being a little indecisive what he wants to do here. He's going to try and run and get damage done on this building rather than address the level 3 despoiler Black Uruks. What are we going to see here? Actually, no. It looks like he's going to be able to clean these up. If Nid can commit to this with the ability... Yep. Despoiler going down. If he gets this. Despoiler huge. Wow. Snens has got to get around if he wants to protect this. Wow. Oh, man. That was so close. That would have been game end, right? I mean, this might be game end still, but the... Oh, yeah! Wow, he has that many? Mordor has 10 next to... yeah, I guess he spent on another 5. Holy moly. So I didn't even notice Isengard was taking such a huge lead in power points. Using the Wrath of Caradhras to completely reset Mordor's army here. Getting on top of the resource structures again. Look at this clumping. This is going to get deleted. Whether by Nid or just by Isengard. Wow. Boom. Completely destroyed. The Drummer Troll leadership is not to be ignored here, along with the... I don't think the Mouth of Sauron... Yeah, he has an active debuff. And active buff. Yeah, no leadership as far as I'm aware. Right. Alright, so Snen's looking to see what he can do after kind of resetting Mordor's army there. Being able to get this fortified position down would be nice, but I mean, these guys are coming. The Drummer Trolls are heralding the arrival of the Mordor army here, and the battle tower is just going to be too armor heavy. I understand the desire to get this building out of the way, but oh man, in the end, no damage done. Army loss. Alright, so that's a pretty big positioning lead for Nid taken there. We do see the Siege Ballista hitting the field, which is going to be pretty great for Isengard in these scenarios. Nice. Good kill. Wow. Guys, this is such a top tier game. I am loving this. Yeah, the level 2, just pumping out Ballista here to pressure that base. I think what Nid needs to do here is... Yeah, this is what he needs. I haven't seen them yet. Yeah, okay. No, I see. He needs to do what he's already doing. If only I was paying attention. The Easterling tech is exactly what Nid needs here to take back the lead in this game. Just staying on Orcs isn't going to be enough. Again, these Wraiths are just so powerful. I think this must be Mordor or Isengard's tainted land, but can't even get Isengard's units onto him. We've got the roar from Mordor's Drummer Troll here. That's going to consistently be a problem. We've got these leadershiped Easterling archers that are just going to tear through any unit that Isengard produces. And with the constant fear manipulation that Mordor has between Screech, Roar, all that stuff, it's going to be tough. So we've got 3 Ballista here going to start chewing away. Ballista damage against units is decent, but it's mostly the, if you can get the knockdown on them too, then you're also mitigating the damage done to you, even if you're not killing. We've got a forward build me an army here. Interesting choice. I would have put it back here, as it can get destroyed. Yep, the Screech coming in. The Screech is just so powerful. Looks like Lurtz has snared down the mouth of Sauron. Wraiths on Wings back up again. Uh-oh. Oh, right on top of the Siege Ballista, too. Gonna take down a... Oh, no. Oh, that's huge damage. Wait. Okay, there we go. I was like, did they miss that animation? The level 3 Furnace going down. Massive. Ballista trying to run away from the Fell Beast, as those are gonna absolutely get wrecked. Build me an army survives, and these Easterling archers getting jumped on. That's a big pickup for Isengard here. These archers are some of the strongest in the game. So being able to get the kill on these guys is pretty huge. Not dying as quickly as you'd think. The Wraiths on Wings here. Uh-oh. Yep, okay. I was like, he got that and 25 more power points? I think that's going to be... Huh. So the Wrath of Orodruin, or Fires of Orodruin, only killing like a 2 HP clan steading. But getting some damage and fire damage done on these Uruk pits, so honestly, that's going to be game. Holy moly. The back and forth here. I gotta commend both players on this one. Snens, I think, did a really, really good job coming back from his early deficit, but then Nid kind of coming back, getting the damage boost from the Orkhorn on the Easterling archers is going to chew through anything. Yeah, this is crazy. But having to deal with the Wraiths and the Roars from the Drummer Trolls, some stuff that, like, you know, some average players wouldn't think of. Nid just using every tool in Mordor's arsenal to take down Isengard here. Just really, really impressive play. I'm going to say Snens, even though he had a good comeback. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's going to be GG right there. What a great game. GG, Nidhoggr is going to take that first win for game 1 there in this match, quarterfinals match. And we'll be right here with game 2 in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right, and we're here with game 2 between Nidhoggr over here in the bottom right, playing Gondor this time on the River Isen. And in the top left, we have Snens playing Dol Guldur. Very spooky faction for our spooky tournament here. We're going to have a classic double farm start here. And we're going to have a shade coming across the river. Want to see what this guy's going to do. Oftentimes we will sometimes see... Oh, okay. I think this is the summon, correct? Yeah, okay. So this is the Don't Follow the Light summon. Very clever. Just coming in for a scout here. While the jail, as I've learned it is now called, the Guldur jail, is going to be placed just before the actual ford here. With 3 mills in the background. I'm sure shade is in production. Absolutely. This guy going to be a great scouting tool here to see what Gondor's up to, which is just a very standard start with 3 farms and the barracks dropping down. Going to start with the Linhir Spearmen, probably just to creep the warg layers, get a little bit of extra cash there, and starting with Broken Rabble from the jail here. A real shade now appearing. Going to be building a pretty forward set of buildings up here. Most likely to to avoid the effects of slow decay as much as possible. These Broken Rabble are going to come out full health and don't have as far to walk before harassing the enemy structures. So the Dol Guldur units without a source of sorcery like the Necromancer or the buildings with Blight are going to slowly take damage over time. Yeah, I believe this is the summoned one. Yes. So applying a little bit of a debuff, it seems. Fear debuff. But the Linhir Spearman, able to give the Broken Rabble here a bit of a runaround. Just fast enough to get out of range here. And we're on to double production of, well, we were on Broken Rabble. We're starting to put out some jailers here, pikes. Linhir Spearman going over to creep this layer, while the Broken Rabble make their way over to this farm. Try and get some damage done here, but the Lamedon Clansmen getting right on top of these guys, and these guys are super, super weak. So, not much is going to happen here. Don't Follow the Lights comes in for a little bit of a stun. Get a little bit of a surround from the Broken Rabble here, with the Captain's Horn going down on both of these flanking Clansmen here. Not much here to do at all. So, okay, so the Jailers here going to creep this Warglare. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the kill on this Warglare in time. Nid might see it on his way up here. This one is more likely going to fall to Snens. These guys hit level 2 from creeping the Warglare. Big win. These Broken Rabble slowly going to die in the corner. Back over here, the archers, what are they called? The hunters, the orc hunters, getting caught by the Lamedon Clansmen, still buffed from the horn. A third jail going down for Dol Guldur here. Alright, able to kind of take advantage of the either probably the attack move or something that brought them over to this end here. But now these Clansmen are getting a pretty good surround and surface area onto this jail here, the newly built one. And I don't see... They keep on focusing this layer. This jail is probably going to fall here. Another Don't Follow the Lights comes in for the stun. Still so many on surface area there. Yeah, so third jail gonna fall. Expensive loss. The Dol Guldur jailers up here were able to destroy the layer, but the Linhir Spearman gonna actually reap the rewards, kill that, and grab the creep money. And yeah, I mean, pretty convincing play here by Nid. These jails are up forward, but the units that they're producing are just not able to stand up to the fiefdom units here. But Snen's taking a little bit more of the map with these mills over here. If we were to look at the command points, it does actually seem that Gondor is in the lead with this many farms. Also, a stable's being built. It's good to notice. I don't think we see any cav yet, but I could be wrong. These Linhir Spearmen over in the back of the base. I completely missed this. Killed the mill that was here. And just nothing to contest. These Lamedon Clansmen. Too small of a unit to really do too much. But Gondor on a cleanup mission. The Riders of Peneth Gillen. Thought I heard horses neighing in the ambiance here. Nid just handling every problem perfectly. Dol Guldur tries to come in for some pressure, but like retreating to all of these units here. Just heavily in favor of Gondor's play here. Dol Guldur not really quite able to get up. It's probably, I mean, this Spire purchase, this is an expensive building. If I recall, 1,000 resources to put up a Spire sorcery. I don't play Dol Guldur much. And the more expensive resource unit here with the pikemen standing guard on defensive stance. Ever a reminder to Dol Guldur here. The meta debuff. Dol Guldur kind of forced to defend its position in the middle of the map here, which is kind of unfortunate. But Nid kind of losing track of his pikemen here and rushing his Riders of Peneth Gillen straight into some jailers. But the jailer's going to fall to 4 battalions of Lamedon Clansmen, because these are just orc pikemen slowly dying. Obviously, I'm so stupid. This is worth a... Just ignore everything I ever said. The Spire of Sorcery allows the jailers to turn into Risen Dead. But it does not seem like Snens is taking advantage of that currently. The Numenorian engineering going to come in here to start taking down this river position here as Lamedon clansmen are trying to take down this mill. I want to see what this fight looks like over here. Nid's presence in the middle of the ford here is going to be pretty hard to take over. And this thing's going to last long enough to at least take down this jail, maybe even most of another. So I'm surprised to see the Spire of Sorcery, a big investment going down. Here we go, Risen Dead over here defending the base. I would expect to see some Risen Dead over here. The spell Dark Hysteria, causing the Lamedon clansmen to fight each other, going down. And here we go. I believe that is the Risen Dead summon. Here we go. Okay, so now we start to see some Risen Dead. Don't follow the lights, getting a pretty good stun off on these fiefdom units. But the Numenorian engineering, the splash damage radius on the knockdown is going to keep these archers out of the fight for most of their lives. But Risen Dead able to clean up the Lamedon clansmen here. Okay, so turning the tide here for Dol Guldur. If this jail can survive the length that this trebuchet is remaining, wait, it's going to be close. Is it going to get one more hit off? It does disappear. But Forlong and the Knights and the Riders of Peneth Gillen able to crush the Risen Dead here. Surprised they didn't go for the jail here. Could have gotten a quick surround on that, taken that down. But this game looks to be heavily in favor of Gondor at this point. We have 810 max CP compared to 525. Risen Dead over here taking care of this farm, but 3 battalions of Riders of Peneth Gillen taking down the mills. And we've got the Axemen of Losarna, thanks to Forlong's purchase here. Risen Dead coming up. Let's see how this matchup works for him. I don't know what that is. Wish I knew more about Dol Guldur. I'm not really able to speak much to this faction, as I do not play them very often, but it does seem like the Risen Dead were a necessary counter to the fiefdom spam, but I think the investment of the Broken Rabble across the map, this didn't really pay off for himself. I mean, maybe it kept Gondor busy a little bit on their side of the map, but it puts Dol Guldur in a defensive position away from their fortress, which is obviously harder, with significantly weaker units than Gondor here. But with the Risen Dead, we'll see if Snens is able to make a pretty decent push over here. The Well, I believe, is only out of combat healing, but maybe I'm wrong there. Dol Guldur being chased out of its center position, leaving its jail open. I mean, yeah, if Dol Guldur is going to run down this way, Gondor is just going to take the production. Axemen being good against buildings, this is going to fall very quickly, yep. I mean, yeah, this is not the move. There's just no damage to be done over here. Gave up your jails in the middle of the map here. There's nothing else going on. I mean, this got upgraded because you can't even get the Harbingers until you're up to level 2. So, building a ruinous tower in the back, but these fiefdom units buffed by Forlong are going to be able to handle all the Risen Dead and jailers that come out of just one jail, so I think that was a pretty critical mistake that Snens made, moving most of his army down into the middle here. I mean, even getting a level 2 farm at this point, which he's not focusing on, is not going to be worth losing his production buildings. He's not going to be able to keep up with the fiefdom spam at this point. 160 max CP point lead, if I could speak. Axeman pressuring any outside mills. Actually putting up a jail in the base this time, as all production has been lost at this point. And Dol Amroth Citadel being summoned. Hear the not too far forward, so not too aggressive. Just establishing a huge impenetrable. Yeah, even the battle towers coming in. Nid is not messing around here. It's gonna be really hard for Dol Guldur to amass a force strong enough to stop this. With the Axeman's damage to mills as well, just starving them for resources. Okay, Wolf Summon comes in. Not too many pikes in this mix. Okay. The Spire is still going to fall to the surface area that Gondor has here, which means no Risen Dead, which means only these wolves to kill these units. Are there any Lasarnox Spearmen here? Do you see Crimpool hitting the field? Torture. Hitting level 2. Okay, Dol Guldur able to clean up with the wolves of, what is that power called? Spawn of Karkaroth, the infamous guardian of Angband. I mean, this mill is gone. It has the map. Riders of Pinneth Gillen. Meeting with more riders of Pinneth Gillen. It's a huge cavalry setup here. Only 130 CP active, compared to 630 and max points. Yeah, Nid is just taking huge control of this match here. Oh, Darkest Area being called on these units here. What an effective spell. Wow. How long does this last? Huge, huge value from that spell. Riders coming in. Swan Knights hitting the field too. Wow. Some exceptional cav.
Back off! Put an end to this evil! We bring spears from Nidhoggr.
Chill of the Grave being summoned or placed on the Riders of Pinneth Gillen, which isn't a bad move considering all the pikes. Chill from the Grave, I believe, slows. Yep, slowed by 50%. So really, really good use on the cavalry here to try and chase him down and hold this off. But
Die. Simple.
I'm trying to see Dol Guldur's win condition here, and I don't see it yet. Just the money isn't there.
Losanok will enter Gondor's call.
Crimpool fighting back here. Snens never gives up. Snens always finds a way. Like, I would have been out of this game so long ago. Finding a way to level up Crimpool here, get Dungeon Master to summon the jail. I keep wanting to say Gal. Over here, we've got Ravagers hitting the field. Ravagers are going to change the game a little bit. These guys are much beefier and able to handle the fiefdom units much better than the orcs. And we start to see an active CP lead. The gap is starting to close a little bit. Did I hear Imbrahil? Who did I hear? Lancer, Gondor's Call. Who was that?
Right.
Could have just been a unit. Crimpool summon here. Gonna get some broken rabble out of there.
This way, Lancers.
Crimpool is a great choice here for Snens. He's getting a lot of damage in. These summons are pretty strong. Since he lost a lot of production for his units, just get a hero that summons them. Why not? This clump, though, gonna get in between. Honestly, Nid is using the Sim City of Snens greatly to his advantage here. Being able to clump up the Axemen like this, they're gonna have trouble getting attacked from either side. And all of them are getting on this, have enough surface area to take on the jail here. So getting some good damage done that way. Crimpool still getting some work done here. And the Cav of Gondor forced to retreat yet again. 15 command points, or power points rather, for Gondor. Ready to spend. And basically, Dol Guldur is going to want to hold out until they can make another Spawn of Karkaroth play, is what I'm assuming. We do see the Tomb Guard, the Elite Pikemen coming in. It's going to be a great choice against the Swan Knights and Riders of Peanut Killing that Nid seems to be favoring here. For Gondor, we will see... Oh, wow, I wasn't even looking. The Orc Ravagers able to get a kill on high-level farm. The first farm plays between this one and that one. So, level 3 farm, that's a great kill. They're going to get trampled to death, though. If they can get up and start knocking down this cab instead, we might be able to get a decent trade in, but unfortunately, Nid's micro is going to make sure these Ravagers do not make it out of here. That's a great pick-off, though. The level 3 farm is a pretty big loss for Nid here. I was going to say, there's here, Denethor was purchased. He's level 6 now, which means he gets the summon. Sarnuk, Axeman getting on top of these mills, keeping Dol Guldur on this side of the river. We do have 16 power points here for Dol Guldur, but he's not decided what to purchase with it yet. I believe between Dark Hysteria and Spawn of Karkaroth, he probably has all 3 available to him. I'm not familiar, again, with the Dol Guldur tree, but we'll see if he wants to spend these for the 15 soon. Gondor posturing in the middle of the map here, while Dol Guldur answering this Lasarnik Axeman harass. The Ravagers popping their knockback ability and pushing back this attack here, but this mill is going to fall unless Dol Guldur retreats in time to go and deal with this attack. The 2 trebuchets is going to be pretty tough to deal with, but Nid knows this. He knows that Dol Guldur is going to focus this down, so keeps the pikes totally surrounding the trebuchets here. And oh man, Denethor summoning the fear, but oh, look at this! Great use of the Wolves of Karkaroth. I mean, yep, okay. If he can get the Wolves out from the Linhir pikes and keep them to trample the other units, that'll be huge. But even just getting rid of the trebuchets is pretty nice. Grimpool's gonna summon another Ruinous Tower. These guys have been feared. This must be the... Did Gondor summon the Weather Power? Yeah, the Western Winds. So these guys stunned while they were... At least after they killed the Troll Lair. That's good. But the Gondor numbers might be too great over here. Looks like... we did stun Denethor, but no damage getting onto him here. 2 battalions of Swan Knights. All sorts of Axemen and... Oh yeah, Barethor. Denethor is such a strong hero. So getting on top of this mill here. These units finishing off the Cave Troll Creek, but I mean, this is basically a maxed out army from Gondor, just deleting mills instantly. Grimpool did retreat in time. His powers are not available though. More Ravagers. Ravagers are definitely the unit he wants to go with here. Numenorian engine. Oh man. That's what's so brutal about this power is, yeah, it does damage to the buildings, but just the area of effect on the unit knockback is so great. So Dark Hysteria, it seems, was used on these Lasarnik Axemen, causing them to take a little bit longer to kill this jail, but this is the end of it for Snens here. Again, I don't want to knock Snens here. If it were me, I would have been out of this game so long ago. He has a way of climbing back and making sure he's affording the units that he needs to fight off for as long as possible. But Nid, just with the crazy map control, yep, and with money to spare, is building all sorts of arrow towers to deal with this kind of backdoor here. And with Gondor getting on top of the Dol Guldur fortress, it seems like it's going to be game. Fortress falls. Even as the command points for Gondor fall here. Looks like it's just going to be cleanup at this point for Gondor. There it is. GG. Our first match of the quarterfinals goes to Nidhoggr. Congrats to both players. Some really, really solid games there. Look forward to seeing Nid moving forward. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.